All right, hello. We're going to be talking about Module 1, Lessons 3 and 4, multiplying and dividing integers. There's a slight typo right there, but hopefully that doesn't affect anything for you. We're on page 3 of our packet. So we're going to start with some vocabulary. We're going to start with additive inverse, which really talks about more from lessons 1 and 2, but always good to talk about them. So we'll start with additive inverse, and that is when two integers that are opposite all right, I want that in red. It's not stained. So that's opposite. And I frozen there. Let me go back. Fix this. Where am I at? Sorry, the sum of the integer and its additive integer is 0. So an example could be something like -5 plus 5 equals 0. Our next definition would be the distributive property, and this is one you're going to see a lot of in math, so you really do kind of need to get this one down. Maybe not right now, but it is something you'll see a lot of. So distributive property basically says to multiply a sum by a number, multiply each of the addends. Addend is a fancy word for numbers being added. So add this in, numbers, whoops. Number being added. By the sum of the number outside the parentheses. For any number for any numbers A, B, and C, then we have A times the quantity B plus C is then equal to AB plus AC. In other words, everything inside is getting multiplied by the term on the outside. This also works for subtraction. So A times the quantity B minus C is equal to AB minus AC. So let me give you a couple of examples here. So we have 2 times the quantity 5 plus 3. That would be equal to 2 times 5 plus 2 times 3. And you can fit this in a little bit better. I should have moved my and over. For the subtraction, we could say 2 times 12 minus 2 is equal to 2 times 12 minus 2 times 2. So those would be examples of distributive property, and we'll talk more about those later on. Next, we have multiplicative identity property. This one's pretty straightforward. You already know this, you just may not have really thought about it. But the product, and product is the fancy word for what? Hopefully you're thinking multiplication. So the product of any number and 1 is the number. So an example could be -7 times 1 is equal to, whoops, I'm going to restart that if you don't mind. So we have 1 here. So my example was -7 times 1 is equal to -7. Then we have, so that should be pretty obvious. Anything multiplied by 1 is itself. That's what that says. And another one. Basically, kind of the same idea, but with 0, and again, this should be something that you're familiar with. Again, we have the product of any number and 0 is 0. So that'll take care of the definitions for today. We'll come back to finish up the rules for in the next video. Thank you very much, and I'll see you soon. If you have any questions, don't forget to ask. Remember, if you don't understand, that's my fault, but if you don't ask, then it's your fault.